Welcome to Nitpicking Nerds. Are you looking to save a buck or two?
Because if so, we've got budget alternatives to Commander staples for you right now.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds, bringing you content every single day for the end of time until now. Go check out the link in the description. Takes a TCG player. Alternatively, go to patreon.com and support us that way.
Yes, and a quick shout out at the beginning of this video. In 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a Kickstarter for our gameplay project. Link will be in the description below. Check it out. It'll be launching August 17th.
Yes, so get ready. And if you're not willing to wait that long, this Friday, we got a big project coming out, which is going to premiere on YouTube. You can watch it with us live, so get ready for that too.
That is way more shout outs than we usually do. So let's get right into this video. We got 5 staples that, they're pretty expensive. We got some replacements. We know they're staples for a reason. These might not be as good, but we're trying to save you a couple bucks so you can play the deck, have it function the same, but you don't have to spend $30, $40, $50, $60.
A similar effect. This might not be worth it gameplay-wise, because why would you ever take a good card and switch it for a worse card? But for budget, this is absolutely worth it.
Yes. So let's hop right in. We're going to start with 2 really, really overpriced tutors, Demonic and Vampiric Tutor, which are actually as low as they've been in a long time.
Yeah, $34 for Demonic and like $46 for Vampiric.
Yeah, so those are decently low for those, but we got some alternatives for you because, tutors are really good. Obviously, we know this. The first one, it just got reprinted last year in
M21?
21, not 15, geez.
Yeah.
How old am I? M21, Grim Tutor, $15 currently. It's not insane. It's not broken. It's very medium. But if you're looking to get like a cheaper tutor, this is only 1 more mana, and it'll save you, $20 right away?
1 mana is big when you can afford to save it, right? Like why play Grim Tutor when you can just play Demonic Tutor? But you can't play Demonic Tutor, so we're paying an extra mana, which is rough, but for half the price, you get a little bit less efficiency, but you still have a tutor, so you can still find your best piece and actually pull together wins.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to be losing a little bit of the efficiency of the tutors between Vamp and Demonic. Obviously, both insane cards, but we're going to save a bunch of money here. Next, we have Scheming Symmetry. This one's only $4. And it lets your opponent search. I think one thing you want to try and do with something like this is have a way to get rid of their search. If you're playing like Thought Scour effects or
Opposition Agent,
anything like that where you can get them not to get the advantage you're going to get. So that's a downside you have to build with this card a little bit in mind because you don't just want to throw this in any deck.
Or draw a card right away, and then you can maybe, if you're trying to fire off a board wipe or something, change the entire board state. So the card they tutored for might not even be good anymore.
Yeah, so if you can get the card rid, it'll also be helpful. Next is Wishclaw Talisman, only $2. Again, these it's just an okay card. You want to work on Wishclaw Talisman. We already talked about this. For Opposition Agent is insanely strong.
You go find it.
You just go find the Opposition Agent, and then you flash it in when they go to search.
Right.
You can also make deals with this, like, hey, I'll go get X, you go get Y, and then give it back to me.
You want it back. If you can get 2 out of this and they only get 1, that's pretty positive. The problem is you can't always guarantee it. But if you do some work, some politics, and say, I'm just not going to give it away unless somebody makes a deal with me, then maybe someone will do it.
The next one is Mausoleum Secrets. This lets you search for a black card from your deck that's equal to the number of creatures in your graveyard. This one's very specific, and you really got to make sure you have a lot of creatures in your graveyard, but it's going to function very well when you do.
1 or 2 color deck, like your black-greens or your black, or maybe even like Abzan, got to fill your graveyard. Once you do, you actually get a card that's better than Demonic Tutor. So you have to build around it, and the reason that it's only $1 is printed recently, hard to build around, very niche, but if you fit the niche, just play this card.
So it's printed like 3 or 4 years ago now.
Yeah, somewhat recently. It's like it was one of those standard sets where they just make infinite.
But I was just
there's no scarcity with the standard sets.
Oh, I was just saying it's funny because like we would say that Guilds of Ravnica was recently.
Yeah.
Oh God, it wasn't.
Nope. Beseech the Queen is $5, and it's basically going to say black, black, black. Search your library for a card, put it in your hand. Okay, this is in a mono black deck or a deck with really good mana, just better than Grim Tutor, honestly. As long as you're not firing off on turn 3, but even if you are, that means cards like Soul Ring get even more critical in the first early turn, so you can just go grab that.
It's all about being a heavy black deck, whether you be 1 or 2 colors. If you're 1 color, this is a free roll. I mean, it's just a 3 mana search your deck. If you're 2 colors, you got to make sure your mana is producing well. Make sure you got those Urborgs in your deck. So
Well,
you
it
can
still
cast
gives you
those.
an out. It's not even uncastable. It just costs 4.
That's true. I mean, yeah, it also gives you out to that. But this gets a lot worse when when you don't pay black. It's you know what it becomes.
Well, yeah, we're like I said, we haven't said this yet, but we're okay with 3-mana tutors. That is not far enough to where I'm not going to play them. 4-mana tutors, we're just not going to play it. It's not like I want a budget alternative and I'll take whatever I can get. It's like, no, I'm really going to go after these, and I'm not going to play Diabolic Tutor. I don't need to, even on a budget. There's so many better, similar effects for not that much money.
Yeah. Okay. And the last one we got for these tutors, Dark Petition, $3.50. This is going to function like if you're going to cast the card on the same turn and you have Spell Mastery, it's going to function identical to Demonic Tutor on those turns.
This is the best one. This is the best, I think, alternative. You just need a little bit of things happening in your graveyard, and it's just Demonic Tutor. Make sure you cast a spell after. But there's plenty of cards you can cast with black. Necropotence comes to mind.
Yeah, Necropotence. This card, you just need to make sure you're going to be hitting the Spell Mastery, is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to make sure you're hitting the Spell Mastery with the 2 spells in your graveyard. You hit that, it's just, that threshold it's not hard to meet. Not even a little bit, even if you only have let's just say 15 spells in your deck, it's still pretty easy to hit.
Yeah, I definitely recommend Dark Petition probably as the #1 replacement.
Yeah.
The second one is a big headache causer and a card that a lot of people look to play because it's Dockside Extortionist. But it's $58 because this card is just it wasn't really printed and it's completely insane. And the fact is so easy and so free just how much mana you get off of it. But we've got some actually decent replacements for it.
Yeah, this card's stupid. It's incredibly powerful, one of the best cards in the format. And you're not going to replace its power, period. No. That's not a real thing. If you want the very best deck ever and you have unlimited budget, this is the best choice, Dockside. But if you're looking to save $50, well, we can start with Brass's Bounty, which is 7 mana to make treasures equal to your lands. Now, this becomes a ritual at any point when you have more than 7 lands in play.
Yes, if you have 10 lands, well, all of a sudden you pay 7 mana to make 10 mana, and you don't have to use it right away. So the thing we're trying to replicate on Dockside is not the cost, because it's impossible, but we're trying to replicate the effect. Your deck wants lots of mana, big mana, lots of treasures. Well, we have cards that do that. Brass's Bounty is a way to just go, all right, stockpile a million treasures, kind of like it's close to skip your next turn, and then the turn after is twice as good.
Yeah, I mean, Brass's Bounty is good and it lets you build up for a really, really big turn. Plus, if you can use the treasures in a Brutal Clad deck or anything that wants permanence on the battlefield, this is a lot of permanence.
Yeah, so if you're looking for treasures, I'd go that way. If you're just looking to generate mana, you don't really care that it's treasure specific, I'd recommend Mana Geyser. It's 5 mana, adds a red for each tap land your opponents control, and it's $1.50. Plus, this does go infinite with some cards that Dockside Extortionist won't. Not saying that card doesn't go infinite, but Mana Geyser plus, let's say, Reiterate, that's infinite mana.
Obviously, Dockside Extortionist goes infinite with a ham sandwich, but Mana Geyser does have some nice infinite combos. It's a little more mana intensive, going to require you to have 8 or 9 mana, but it's still a decent combo.
Yeah, just a fair amount of mana. A card that could go infinite, but is mostly just going to be value is Just 'Cause Will. Not the most budget card, but comparatively, it's a third of the price. $17. It'll get you 3 cards. It's kind of like a 3-for-1. Mostly pays it back, especially if you're heavy red. But this is another card that'll get you a nice boost of mana.
Yeah, it usually makes 5, 6, 7 mana easily. Controlling your commander is a joke. This is a game of commander.
Too easy.
You often control your commander, and if not, even then, it's still a modal spell that gives you choices. Card is very good, and I suggest playing it. I mean, this card was a bulk rare when it came out, and people caught onto it quickly.
Yes, the will cycle, well, because they were mostly throwaways.
Yeah, they were. It's this and the Chroma's Well, and the other ones are kind of just nothing.
Oh, yeah. Last, I just want to shout out Impulsive Pilfer. It's a nice little way to stockpile treasures. You get 1 right away when it dies, and then you get 3 more when you encore it. So it's a slower way to stockpile some treasures. You're just going to get treasure out of this card. It's a good rate. I think this is a really solid card. You just want to sacrifice. You want to be able to sacrifice it.
Card number 3 that we're looking to replace, Chromatic Lantern. This is $9. And I want to say right now, I don't think this card is good. I do, on a solid note, I don't think any deck needs this card at all, other than maybe a 5-color deck.
Maybe there's some kind of, you specifically need a Wooburg restriction every single turn. Okay, maybe you consider it. This is a card I generally look to replace, even not on a budget. But if you're on a budget and you find yourself wanting Chromatic Lantern, well, firstly, I'd recommend any 2-mana rock ever.
I'm being completely honest here. I think that Chromatic Lantern can be replaced simply by any signet. Talisman, If you're in 3 colors, there's 6 of those per. And then if you're in like 2 colors and you're playing chromatic, one, the fixing's not that important.
You also have like Felwar Stone, Thought Vessel.
I'm not interested. I am nowhere near interested in Chromatic Lantern.
But if you want a 3-mana rock, we got 2 recommendations. Skyclave Relic is either 3 mana for Chromatic Lantern, basically. We're assuming you're building a good mana base because you want your deck to win. So you go through the whole trouble of building a good mana base. Now, why are you like ignoring it or trying to crutch with Lantern? So Skyclave Relic, which has the out to be 6 mana, get some tokens. If you care about tokens, definitely recommend that. $1.50. Also $1.50 somehow. Coalition Relic?
Both are very good cards. Coalition Relic lets you charge up a mana and use. You can either charge it up and use the mana next turn, or you can use it for mana this turn. This card is solid. It produces 2 mana. It produces 1 mana a turn, but you can charge it up for. But you can charge it for next turn. Add in the fact that this has like random proliferate synergies and what's the other card? It has synergies with. What's the untap everything? Seedborn Muse.
Yeah.
I figured it out. It has synergies with Seedborn Muse. You can just put a counter on this every single turn. You just add in all that, and this card turns into a nice card. For $1.50, I am 100% in. And Skyclave, like you said, it's not that great. It's not insane, but it's a cool and good card. And I think it is better than Chromatic. I honestly believe, straight up, not just looking to replace it because it's a budget. I think Skyclave Relic, all 2-mana rocks, maybe not the diamonds, maybe
right.
not. But all 2-mana rocks, anything that comes in untapped, 100%.
Yeah.
Skyclave Relic and Coalition are just better. And like this is more like I know like the other ones was like we're going down on power. You're not losing power here.
Yeah, this one is save some money and increase or stay the same on power level. 4th on our list, we got Finale of Devastation. Oh my god, $39 for this? This is a good card. People are paying money for the X10 or more, which is not what the card mostly is. So let's look at better cards or budgeter cards.
I do want to say I think this one where we're replacing it, one of the cards is better, most of them are not, because the added fact that one, this gets cards from your graveyard, and the fact that this is doubles as a win card, it makes this card is strong. This card's very strong, and I'm not taking anything away from this card. It's a mythic though from Weatherspark, which is probably why it's so much, because it's a mythic, and mythics tend to be a lot of money. But the first replacement, this card is very good. Chord of Calling, X green. I don't know why I'm reading it, but it's on the screen. It's just a tutor, and this is instant speed. This one can come out of nowhere. You can literally have no mana untapped, and then all of a sudden just tap like 6 of your creatures to go get a combo piece and then win the next turn.
Yeah, I think this card is definitely better than Finale, and it's like $5. Instant speed tutors that go into the field are like unheard of. It's green only, just like Finale. And you can use your creatures to tap it so that the mana isn't that big of a deal. You could cast Chord of Calling X10 way more easily than Finale of Devastation X10. Not close.
Yeah, that's true. And I it's not even a discussion of which one's better necessarily. They're both good cards. And the fact is, if you're on a budget at all, Chord going for $5 compared to literally 8 times more for a $40 Finale, I mean, it's not close.
Right. And we're saying, I guess, you won't even barely notice that the power, like, oh, maybe it's slightly different or slightly worse. You just won't even notice. Chord of Calling is amazing. Green Sun Zenith, it has to get a green card, but it's X and a green for $15 less?
I think the thing that makes Green Sun Zenith better in very strong competitive decks is the turn 1 play that makes it ramp. There's not turn 1 ramp doesn't exist aside from mana dorks. This just is a mana dork that scales with the game to get whatever you want. Because
with what?
Well, you get Dryad Arbor, which is a creature land, making it a mana dork. This card is amazing. And if you're a highly super functional deck, this is way better than Finale of Devastation.
You just care so much about the mana at that point.
Mm-hmm.
This is a nice card. You might have it lying around, and you don't necessarily need Finale. You could do the similar things with Green Sun.
It is $24.
Let's not forget that all these cards can go find Enrace Forerunners or Craterhoof or whatever you have, so you can still get an overrun effect.
Yes, exactly. Next, Eldamary's Call. This card's real good. It's $6. You have to be dipping into white in order to play this card, but it searches for a creature at instant speed. The instant speed is so good. It doesn't go to the battlefield, goes to your hand, but you just get it at somebody's end step and then untap and play it.
I mean, what's really that much of a difference? You have to pay X green. Okay, you're playing the creature's cost plus 2. Well, this is the 2, and then just pay the creature's cost like normal is really, really similar if you're just tutoring. Obviously, the plus 10, that's nice. But if you tutor for a win con or some big, dumb boy, you won't even hardly notice.
Yeah, I don't think Finale is enough better to warrant the price tag. It is, I think, even if it is the best of these, and I don't know if it is the best of these, I just can't. If I could play Eladamri's Call and Green Sun Zenith, all for the same price as Finale of Devastation, then I'm probably in on all three of those first.
That's funny. Altar of Bone will lump right in with Eladamri's Call. Cost is a little bit higher, $13. The actual in-game cost is a little bit higher, sack a creature, but the effect is very similar.
Yeah, this card is weird, and it's an older card, and I really like it. It's worse than Eladamri's Call, obviously, because Eladamri's Call doesn't have the restriction. It's an instant. But it's just another tutor, and I just wanted to lump it in here because it doesn't get much love or talked about because it's this old Ice Age card that is just okay.
And it's so far down the line in power, and we don't talk about budget every time.
Yeah, it's true. And last, but certainly not least, we have Perforos, God of the Forge. He's around $22 currently. Great Magic card. I mean, the card kills players so fast. Every creature you play deals 2 damage. Unfortunately, he's $22, and you might not be able to afford that, even though one of our suggestions for the last one was Green Sun, which was worth $24. Just think that
relative to the card.
I know. It's just funny. The first replacement for it is Impact Tremors. This is only going to be 1 damage, but it's 2 less mana, and it's still going to kill players pretty fast.
Perforos, every creature you control that you play deals 6 damage divided. And you can't choose. It's 2/2/2, but it's 6 damage. Impact Tremors, it's half the mana, and you get half the damage. That feels pretty reasonable to me. And if you're going infinite, it doesn't matter how much damage you can do. It can be 0.0001 damage. Infinite still kills everybody.
Yeah, Impact Tremors is a good card. It's 1 mana. I was gonna say it's nothing insane, but it is a very good card. If you're in a deck making lots of tokens that wants Perforos, you probably also want Impact Tremors next to it. But if you can't afford Perforos, just go Impact Tremors.
You're not gonna miss a ton. You're not gonna miss a ton. Perforos is twice as fast of a clock, playing fair, and saving $21 though. Impact Tremors is going to still deal 3 damage per creature. That's not bad. It looks bad in comparison, but it is not a bad effect.
Yeah, I want to say another card we're also replacing here that's also very expensive that goes like in the same slot as Perforos is the 5 mana Dragon.
Terror of the Peaks.
Terror of the Peaks. It's another one we're replacing. It's like $25. It's an expensive card.
Ugh, let's replace it with War Storm Surge. 50 cents.
It is. Terror of the Peaks is way better. It's a creature for 1 less mana that does the same thing. Now, we're doing budget here. We're talking about cards that we can get the same effect for. This is an overcosted card. It's not great. Don't confuse us as saying you should shove War Storm Surge in any deck. But if you want this effect, you want a Perforos, or you want a Terror of the Peaks effect, War Storm Surge for 50 cents is gonna give you that effect.
Right. You need the effect. It doesn't. We just need to get it right. Our budget overrules the fact that these cards are better. We need to get this effect. Here you go. It's on this 50-cent card.
Yeah, War Storm Surge is actually a card that we actively included in one of our upgrades to our precon because we needed this effect. We didn't have if we lived in an ideal world, it was a dragon deck, and it would have taken Terror of the Peaks in a heartbeat. $25 just not even close to in our budget. So War Storm Surge it is.
Yeah, the total budget was like $100, counting the cards in the precon already. We can't do that, but we need the effect, or else the deck doesn't function the same. So War Storm Surge is there for you when that is the case.
In this last card, a card, if you think you're going to play it, I suggest picking up extremely soon because it was in Modern Horizons. It's incredibly cheap, and all the other versions are not this cheap. Goblin Bombardment. It's currently $1. This card is great. It's a lot different, but it's going to give you a similar type effect. You need to be willing to dispatch and throw away your creatures at times, but also at the same time, you can wait and respond to board wipes and just throw the creatures where you want. This also doubles as onboard removal, whereas Perforos doesn't, Impact Tremors don't. War Storm Surge and Goblin Bombardment double as removal for creatures.
Yeah, you can snipe a creature with War Storm Surge, and you got a couple extra tokens lying around. Perforos and Impact Tremor decks want tokens. This still works with tokens, or if you're trying to maybe do graveyard loops, which those other cards also work with. Snipe Oracle of Moldiah. Those other cards aren't doing that. You actually get a little bit extra, but the penalty is not right away.
Yes. Another thing about this card that is incredibly good is that we've talked about the sack. It's a sack outlet and the payoff. If you can do any loop with Goblin Bombardment, you win. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're looping. As long as you can loop any 2 creatures back and forth, whatever you're doing, you win. Because Goblin Bombardment's just going to ping all the other players to death.
That's why we like Altar of Dementia so much. It's the sack outlet and the payoff. And Goblin Bombardment, sack creature, payoff. For free. No cost.
I will say it again. This is an underplayed commander card. Very good.
It's really good. It's going to overperform almost all the time.
Yep. But that is the end of our video. Special shout outs to all of our patrons. Love you all as much as we can. Without making you uncomfortable.
Yeah, a little bit of a shorter video compared to our last one. Figured we throw this out there, let it sit. Check out the TCG Player link in the description to buy cards you were going to buy anyway through the site. Just click the link, navigate, buy the cards. Then we get a kickback on the order courtesy of you, but you didn't pay any extra money for it. Whoa.
Calm down. If
I
you're
Kramered.
check the description. I'm sure I'm going to remind Beezy because he might forget, and I don't want to forget either. He's going to put a link in the description where you can click on it and go see a preview of our Kickstarter.
Ooh.
It's coming. We're doing gameplay.
For real. Gameplay that it's live with human beings in the same room.
Kickstarter incoming, baby. Get excited.
Yeah, go check out the pre-launch site. Just get a sense for where you're going to be going to check out all of the latest Kickstarter news with us. See where our project is. See if we're going to make it.
August 17th, and this Friday, coming out in a few days, we have our big project.
Best creature of each type. We did all of them. It's a long video.
It's a long video, and it's an awesome video. Well, I thought you were going to jump in.
No.
Well,
Tidbit.
We have a Discord that you can jump in. You can jump into. Link in the description for that. So, tidbit of our life. Actually, something cool happened today. We went to our LGS, our local game store, Collectors Inn, it's called, and we needed to pick up a box to do a draft with some friends. We do it every Tuesday. We draft for friends. It's awesome. Somebody, we didn't get his name. He didn't mention his name. Shout out to you if you're probably watching because you said you were a fan. He came up to us and wanted a picture with us, which is like, it's humbling. It's like, dang, we're like, I don't like not to have a big head at all, but we're semi-celebrities, and that's cool.
Yeah, I just am happy that I could be a positive influence / role model in any sense of the word to anyone. That'd be amazing.
Yes.
Well, that is the case, and it is amazing.
Actually, another thing I want to mention at the end of this video, because we were talking about being positive influence, we just got a newer patron, and he mentioned how happy and like it made him that we were a positive, like LGBT community, LGBTQ plus whatever.
Positive, safe environment.
Yeah. We're exactly. Our Discord is a place like that, and we're we accept anybody in our Discord because we're not judging people.
Well, and the YouTube comments, like, come be positive, come hang out with us. This is an environment where everyone's included, encouraged to be themselves, and if you violate that, guess what? I mean, you're just not going to be a part of it. I want to keep everybody who's being nice and respectful safe.
Yeah, I mean, I know. When I was younger, if I watched, I mean, YouTube wasn't really a bigger thing when I was, but if there was, I know for sure when I was growing up, there was poop for representation of gay people.
Right.
It was nothing.
Of which you are.
Of which I am, which I guess I didn't think I needed to say that, but yeah, I'm gay. I mean, to be, if I get to be that representation for anybody, that's awesome. Because it was garbage when I was growing up. And I mean that. Gay people in movies were stereotypes. They were the gay best friend on Sex and the City.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. I remember a few years ago watching the show Arrow and thinking, wow, this guy's just actually gay. And it's just a normal character. It's like, he's not.
His character isn't he's gay.
His character isn't he's gay. He's a character who happens to be gay, which is how life works. But when you watch, literally, it would always focus around it. If the character was gay, that was the whole stupid episode. It's like, that just doesn't need to be true. Somebody can just be gay.
Yeah, they did. I think
think about watching the Nitpicking Nerd episode. How I talk about me being gay and I'm open about it, but it's not like in the beginning of a video go, in this video I'm Joe Cherries and I'm gay and you're busy.
For this cut, I was trying to think between Warstorm Surge and Impact Tremors, but because I'm homosexual, I really just went with Warstorm Surge as the best option.
Have you ever watched like I know that your generation, it's a little better. It's not like he's that much younger, but he's 6 years younger. It is a little better. Representation is definitely absurdly better now. But if you ever watched any of those old TV shows where like the episode basically focused around a gay guy because like it was like a novelty.
Yeah, I mean I've seen even like the we're almost done with this tidbit, I swear. What's it called? Like the formulaic like old cop shows, whatever those were called, right? Like an SVU, but there was one forever ago in like the 90s, and I remember there was an episode with this gay guy, and they were just the whole episode was just like, he's gay, he has sex with men, he was out on the street having sex with these men. I was like, oh my god, eyes are just rolling into the back of my skull.
Yeah, thank God as many problems as we might have in society or whatever, not to get political at all.
Here we go. This is the big closer.
As many as we might have, at least things are better than they were. Thank God we're getting, at least there's a positive trend, and I hope that continues.
It will with us.
It definitely will with us. Peace out, Tribe Scout. The longest tidbit that ever did happen.
Eh.